Hello, everybody. I hope you're all keeping well and staying safe with the on and off of the COVID variants that has been troubling everybody.
And yes, please stay safe and follow all the necessary protocols in your respective countries.
Yes, please do that. Anyways, today we are here to discuss a topic that is affecting our life, like COVID, and and the life of our children and our future generations. We know we might not receive. I mean, we might not receive a very positive feedback, and we might also receive hate from the extremists. But we still had to discuss this because you gotta do what you gotta do, guys.
Yeah, so we wanted to talk about global warming for a long time now, and we have not been able to do so for two reasons, particularly. One being the topic is so vast that we are not able to figure out what to leave and what to pick. And second being, we kept feeling like hypocrites. We kept thinking that we are not going, doing everything we can to contribute to make the environment any better.
This until one day I noticed a lifafa, a poly bag in Anmol's handbag, where she was collecting wrappers and broken masks and everything that she thought was garbage. So I asked her, and she said that she did not. She did not see a dustbin, so she was, taking everything home. So I smiled, and she said that जितना होता है उतना ही तो उतना करना तो पड़ेगा ना मतलब. So which basically means do what you can, and this reminded me of a quote that says that done is better than perfect. So here we are, because I realized that we have been trying to do whatever we can, right, Anmol?
Right.
And stop blushing. Here we are discussing global warming.
Yes. So, by now you know the order of things on C to Z. We have to Google the definition.
Yes, we must, because I realized that I had to ask people what global warming was around me, and they had no idea what it was. What actually was global warming?
I know, and I wanted to punch people, but I did not because I'm a peace-loving person.
Google जो किया वो बताओ तुम.
So, global warming is a phenomenon where the globe has seen a rise in the annual temperature. The temperature has increased in total by a little more than 1 degree Celsius or about 2 degree Fahrenheit each. For the last 40 years, we have seen the global annual temperature rise by 0.18 degrees Celsius or 0.32 degrees Fahrenheit per decade.
But why is this happening? ये भी बताओगी कि नहीं?
Have patience. This sounds like mere numbers, but let me put this into context for you.
For me?
For everyone. Okay. For everyone.
I have context.
Yeah, okay. For everyone, whosoever is listening. With each passing year, our planet witnesses temperatures that are hotter than the previous year. The result, a planet that has never been hotter. 9 of the 10 warmest years since 1880 have occurred since 2005. Now, imagine these figures, and the 5 warmest years of on record have all occurred since 2015.
Which also brings me to discuss why we must talk about global warming. So climate scientists have concluded that we must limit global warming to 1.5 degrees Celsius by 2040, and we're in 2022. If we are to avoid a future in which everyday life would suck, basically, life around in the world is going to be marked by the most devastating effects of climate.
Like extreme droughts, wildfires, floods, tropical storms, and other disasters that we refer to climate change. And for the sake of more awareness, for those who do not know, global warming occurs when carbon dioxide, that's CO2, and other air pollutants collect in the atmosphere and absorb sunlight and solar radiation that has bounced back off the Earth's surface. Normally, this radiation would escape into space, but these pollutants, which can last for years to centuries, centuries in the atmosphere, trap in the heat, and cause the planet to get hotter. These heat trapping pollutants, specifically carbon dioxide, methane, nitrous oxide, water vapor, and synthetic fluorinated gases, are known as greenhouse gases, and their impact is called the greenhouse effect. Please bear with us on this because this needs to be addressed.
Yes, this sounds very technical. So just to simplify, it's just that we are causing pollution. The pollution is rising into the atmosphere. It's creating a blanket that is basically trapping the heat of the sun, which is causing the globe to heat up, which is also causing a rise in the average temperature every year, which is going to cause
unbearable climatic changes for us humans eventually.
in the long. Yes. So okay, since she's listed out what is happening and how is it's happening, so I would want to say that curbing these dangerous climate changes, I mean, does require very deep cuts in emissions, as well as alternate resources need to be used worldwide. The good news is that countries around the globe have formally committed to lower the emission by setting new standards and crafting new policies to meet or even exceed those standards. The not so good news is that we're not working fast enough to avoid the worst impacts of climate change. Scientists tell us that we need to reduce global carbon emission by as much as 40% by 2030. So 8 years, guys, 8 years.
Yeah. So if we have killed your vibe with numbers, then we apologize. We will not discuss more technical stuff, at least for this episode. However, we will discuss not so technical stuff. To begin, let's once and for all establish that this is a huge issue and it cannot be better unless everyone contributes.
In whatever capacity that we can. So because I feel the government is focusing on the macro, and by making policies, trying to implement those policies, I think it is us who are going to help execute them, and contribute in a micro way.
Like, for instance, I bring back the garbage home and throw it in the dustbin, because if I'm not able to, given I'm not able to find a dustbin nearby.
Yes.
And there is another very common practice that I've seen over the years, and like over a decade, if I'm being very precise. Like, people have this habit of throwing out stuff on the roads. Like, excuse me, who is going to come and pick it up for you? And I am guilty of accepting this behavior termed as normal. We have normalized this behavior. And I have heard this sentence quite often, that khali pani di bottle gaddi to bahar sut de. Initially when I was young, it used to piss me off, but I would not do anything about it. Eventually, let's fast forward to now, and if I'm driving, or as a matter of fact, if I'm in a car and someone throws anything, be it anything, out of the car's window, and I make sure the car is stopped, you go back, pick your garbage and throw it in a proper disposable place or dustbin, or you take it home. If someone fails to understand this basic thing, then I am up for a very huge argument till the time they don't understand. This is a problem with me, but I make sure they have to pick it up.
I think this is something that I have also heard people say कि मेरे एक लिफाफे से क्या फर्क पड़ेगा.
हाँ.
See कि what if, so I stay in, I mean I come from Shimla, which is like a tourist place, so to speak.
Yeah.
So as somebody who has been there, lived in Shimla as a non-tourist, I am telling you, the most litter that the city sees is when tourists come travel, because Shimla has a lot of dustbins. Very the municipal corporation of the town is very thorough with garbage management, so to speak. We have the garbage disposal is done very properly. But when the tourists come, oh my god, everybody who is living in that city as a non-tourist faces that issue, like bottles and chips, wrappers,
tissues, disposable items, like
a lot,
biscuits, cookies, jars, and
not jars,
packets.
So it gets very unclean and very disorganized, to say the least.
And just this one last example that I want to I don't remember where I saw it, on some social media platform, there was this person who went on a trek with their partner, and what they did was they collected on their trip. They were not only enjoying the mountain space, they were collecting the garbage. They brought the garbage back to the city and threw it, because who is going to go up in the mountains and collect the garbage?
A trek is challenging as is.
They did this. I was so inspired.
I think this was the Triun trek, if I'm not wrong.
I don't remember where I saw this, but it's
I think
2
it
years
was a
back,
Triun
probably
trek.
2 years back.
I think I saw this too. If I'm not wrong, this was it. Not for sure, but I think it. Anyways,
What changes have you made personally, if you might want to add?
I do not litter. Like I have like a chotu dustbin situation in my car, wherein I keep everything that is garbage inside the car. I use reusable cotton pads for my skincare routine. My loofah that I use, it is made from jute and fabric. So
You don't use the plastic mesh one?
no, I stopped using it very, like, it has been a while. So the one that I have used, I mean, it's a little rough, but it does the job. It took me like 2-3 showers and 2-3 baths to get used to it, but then I think it does wonders. I mean, I don't have any issue with my loofah now. I stopped using plastic bottles like very long ago.
I remember you have cleaned wine bottles, and that you
Yes,
use as
and
water
water
bottles
bottles,
now.
yes,
Yeah,
yes.
instead of disposing those.
So
Yeah.
I also use them as vases, decor items. I have metal bottles for when I have to travel, but mostly I use glass bottles. I mean, I try if I can to buy clothes that are sustainable. So fast fashion is something that I don't generally. I try to opt out as much as I can. I do not consume meat, and before you turn into a ninja, I was not consuming meat because I did not feel like it. After I found out the numbers that the meat industry contributes to the pollution, I decided to stay vegetarian, like, all the way.
No, I will admit I am a non-vegetarian and I do consume meat. And I'm genuinely not sure when I'm going to quit, but I have people in my life explaining it to me why I should turn vegetarian. Apart from the eating habits, let's look into the most polluting industries, because they pollute in huge numbers on daily basis.
Because I mean, personally speaking, I mean, you enjoy meat, like, you can. So I think now I understand it is not about doing everything and doing everything right. I think it is about doing whatever you can in whatever capacity you can. So maybe you can try to compensate, let's say,
Somewhere or the other. Yeah.
essay. So as far as the most polluting industries go, I think they are energy, transport, agriculture.
Fashion industry and food retail. I really wish I could go into the details. Like, we could go into the details, but we'd keep it short because we have a lot more to discuss.
Yes. Also, I mean, I would like to add, this categorization of pollutants is done based on two criteria: the amount of the risk that the industrial waste, I mean, from whatever industry it is, poses to the approximately 8 billion people across the globe today. Also, the risk it poses to future generations.
To accurately work out the degree of danger, we have evaluated each of the types of pollution troubling our planet to determine the risk they pose. The 5 types of pollution, like the top 5, would be noise, air, water, light, and soil. This is just to
Tell you that what kind of the different kinds of pollutions there are. So I think the easiest noise pollution may honk as less as you can.
I have actually done that for over 5 or 6 years now. I have been doing that.
There is this in Delhi. There is this street light, like red light, wherein if you keep honking and the honk sound reaches above 80 decibels, it restarts. It does not go green.
Oh.
It goes back to red.
Oh,
So you
I love this.
actually have to stay quiet and not honk unnecessarily.
Patience.
honey patience. So that's there. I think air pollution may. I feel like using less air conditioners wherever you can, because see, with me the issue is that I get hot and cold very easily.
Yeah.
So not hot, so heat I can still manage. Cold I can't. So like I would use heaters more, and AC is less. But then trying to make our houses, just say, there are very huge buildings in India that are made from glass, like very huge glass windows.
Yeah.
But what happens is that India is a country that receives natural sunlight, which means we are like generally hot. The weather is generally hot, which if you are feeling hot, you will obviously turn on the AC, which will turn into air pollution. Air pollution में मुझे ये भी realize होता है that you should get the pollution done. Pollution check होता है गाड़ी का.
हाँ, not only for the purpose of not getting challaned, but for the purpose of in general for your vehicle and for the environment.
So I think water pollution may I would say, I mean, not litter. They say Ganga, like Rishikesh, people go for river rafting.
This is so. I get so pissed. People throw it. They throw in stuff. Who's going? How is it going to get cleaned up in the river?
I don't know. So
what about the fishes in those rivers?
Yes. So that I think with light, I think switch off the lights. That because when you switch on the light, it will emit some sort of heat, which will also add into the
saving part. You're trying to save energy at your home as much as you can.
And I had this habit of कि light जल रही है तो कोई बात नहीं चलने दो वाला.
No.
But then I'm working on it.
No, I remember my grandfather used to tell me कि when I was a kid, I think I'm talking before 2015 or 14. So he used to tell me that whenever you leave the room, switch off the lights. I as a kid I used to think that तो क्या हो गया, light ही तो है, on है, it's bright, रहने दो. But now that I'm an adult, I've realized that it is not about रहने दो. It is about it's a resource. If you don't if you don't have the requirement of the resource, you switch it off because you need to save it for your future generation. Stop wasting it. अपना तो कर गया. Stop wasting resources. जितना resource तुम बचा सकते हो, जितना तुम्हारे हाथ में है, at least उतना तो करो.
I think this is because this is a very vast topic, and like the government, Indian government has that Swachh
Bharat Abhiyan going on.
So
yes,
there are a lot of policies that have been implemented. Like I read a lot. So there are waste disposal system, like I say, like कांच का सामान अलग, biodegradable, not biodegradable अलग. So yes, people have like countries in fact have like different waste disposing systems. I think India is also doing that. But then that is happening on a large scale. There are few things that I think we can do as individual, as people. क्योंकि हमें लगता है that what can we do, like so
on our part to
like as a human, as tiny as one person, what can
we do to bring change or help with the climate crisis, or do something like if you're doing, like I have made this before we get into let's say mentioning as to what all actions we can take. I have come to a realization, if I'm making efforts to let's say eat, if I'm making efforts to let's say improve myself, be it like knowledgeable wise or health wise, why cannot, if I'm doing all this for myself, why can't I do every day one thing to make this world, to make this earth a better place to live in? It's not going to take a lot of time. It's just going to take conscious effort.
Yes. There are some actions that we googled, obviously. The UN has listed that I think can help to make the climate change. I think there are 10 actions, but then let's just quickly list them. So number 1, would you want to go?
Yeah, number 1 is just what we were talking about right now, that is saving energy at your home. That is switching to LED bulbs, and I've actually switched the lights of my house with LED tube lights. They are energy efficient electric appliances, washing your laundry.
So you remember 4-star, 3-star?
Hanji, yes.
On refrigerators,
yes.
Washing machine. That is actually the energy saving capacity of that electronics. Yeah. So washing your laundry with cold water, because गर्म पानी होने में अलग electricity लगेगा. हाँ.
Exactly. It's eventually you're washing your clothes, so you don't necessarily need hot water to wash your laundry.
Yeah, so I think the second would be you should walk, cycle, or take public transport. I can walk, but I can't cycle, and because I don't know how to cycle.
Oh my god, I did not know that.
I don't know.
I'm not judging, but if someday I get the opportunity to teach you cycling, I would be.
And I'm more than willing to learn.
I would be happy to help you with that.
Yes,
Yeah.
and take public transport. What has started to happen is that say suppose you and I are coming from office, like from our home to office, and we live close by, we can obviously pool. But then what is happening is that two people are going in the same direction to the same destination. Still, they don't, pool a car or do anything. So that is causing unnecessary fuel expenditure.
And this is where conscious efforts play a role.
The Delhi government also did this odd even gaadi ka number.
Yeah, they've done it.
So I think people are forced to look for partners to pool with, because घर में दो गाड़ियां तो नहीं होंगी जिसका odd even number होगा. I mean, there could be lucky people.
Rare cases.
But then generally people were forced to. I have friends living in Delhi. They said that they were forced to look for people, or they were forced to switch to the metro, which is, touchwood, a very good way to travel. So yeah, that.
And another thing that we can do is, eat more vegetables.
Like me.
Like Yasha, exactly like Yasha, eating more vegetables, fruits, and whole grains, nuts and seeds, and less dairy and meat, which is exactly. Oh, Yasha, this is so.
I still eat.
She's following this. I can vouch for it. She's following this. So it will significantly lower your environmental impact.
My
Producing plant-based foods generally results in fewer greenhouse gas emissions and requires less energy, land, and water.
So throw away less food. I have like a very bad example. My mother will come off like a very bad but then I have. So my mom was very against like jhutha nahi chhodna. Like,
yeah,
whatever you take in your plate, you eat, you finish it. You will not throw anything away. And I have had this problem of my mom says Hindi mein chota pet chatori jawan. So like I have less appetite, but I have like I like tasty food basically. Yeah. So what happened, like because I was a child and I was greedy and I was like sab kha rahe hain, I was
sab khana hai.
So I couldn't finish. See, she actually put food in she said, she used to say this to me, and I used to take it for granted, and I used to think what will she said she used to
क्या कर लेगी मम्मी types. हाँ.
So she used to tell me कि इसको खत्म करो ना, पेट पे बांध के सुलाऊंगी कि जाएगा पेट पे ही जाएगा तेरे. And then I thought
we used to cry कि क्या मम्मी, why are you doing this to us, क्यों कर रहे हो?
And my mother actually put my food
for real
in a poly bag, and she actually tied it to my waist, and she said the
lesson learned.
Sleep with this poly bag tied to your waist.
Oh no, my mother taught me that don't. So I started taking less quantity.
She did.
No, I heard her and I started less taking. But
you were a nice child.
I appreciate. Shout out to Auntie for being a very responsible and savage mommy. Yes.
So in Indian, I don't know about other cultures, but in Indian culture there is also this thing taja khana khane wala.
Oh my god, I'm so pissed
fresh
with this
food. Like
I am not, again, I think I will come across as a judgmental person, but taza khana is khana.
What if, like, I ask people कि तुम डब्बा भी तो like you pack tiffins that go packed everybody's tiffin which you made in the morning and everybody ate in the lunch.
Yeah.
How is it that if there is a leftover from lunch you cannot eat it in your dinner? I don't understand the logic.
Like, either be responsible. If you're not able to, I'm not saying you cannot do it. If you're doing this, then be responsible enough to not waste it and eat it जब ताजा खाना बन रहा है, or you make it on your own. Expecting another human being to be responsible for your luxurious dreams, I would call it a luxury, eating taza khana every time. If you want to do it on your own. Don't burden someone else with this responsibility.
All this to say, because I say barbar, what happens is there is energy and there is resource in going into making that food. So abhi ye hai that, like, say suppose I make food, like there is going to be some energy gas lagega to
correct
make that food. right? Now you are like, मैं तो ताजा ही खाऊंगी. So every time I switch on the gas, that tawa will heat and take extra energy to get heated. तो वो थोड़ा थोड़ा consume मतलब ऐसे it accumulates and
Like,
becomes
it might sound very, it might sound little things,
very tiny.
but if you start consciously, making
If you calculate, this adds up to a lot.
a lot, exactly, eventually in an year it will add up to a lot. And so hence we say, like, reduce, reuse, repair and recycle. We have heard this phrase since our childhood.
But I think, shout out to Indian moms, I think our mothers have done this unknowingly.
Yeah.
But they've done this. My brother, so I'm the elder of the two. So my brother, all the frocks that I had,
Mhm.
my mother, till the time she could, my mother has made him wear all the frocks. No cloth is going, like, no
cloth is going to get wasted.
You wear it.
No, I will agree to. So I have two elder siblings, and one being a girl and another being like a male and a female. And I have actually worn both their clothes. I have worn frocks, I have worn t-shirts, I have worn everything. Like, I still wear male and female. If my brother doesn't want a t-shirt, I take it, I use it. Yes. I take it for myself.
I think repairing is also one thing. I think this comes to me more naturally because I was living in like such climate. Maybe because it would snow and then we would have like electricity cuts and stuff like that. My mother would ask me to learn how to stitch and
be self-sufficient,
embroider and stuff like that. So we would, like, she would make me hem my skirt and hem pants and buttons. I mean, we would, like, I have seen people throw away things just because they cannot hem their own stuff. I think my mother is a very big advocate of being self-sufficient, at least to the point where you can repair something. Now, because I have less time, and if I'm not able to repair something on my own, she makes sure that I go to like a tailor or bhaiya and get it.
to protect our climate. Either you buy fewer things, or you shop secondhand, or you repair whatever you can and recycle wherever possible. We have very good recycling options.
Yes, available. Yes,
Yeah.
yes. I think the other would be change your home's source of energy. So we're trying to switch to a solar situation because with the government, what is happening is that whatever electricity you consume, whatever excess energy you produce, it goes into the grid, the government grid.
Yeah.
And other people can utilize this. So I'm trying to get solar panels installed and stuff like that. So I think this is one way I think I can contribute to.
No, actually, this is a great thought. And one of my friends, I remember I was at a place, and her neighbors, I was at a place for the night, and their neighbors, garden area lights were on. So I tell my friend that like, why have they, it's like 2 a.m. in midnight, why are the lights on? Like, this is waste of resources. So she told me that no, these lights are on due to the solar panels. So these bulbs that are installed in their garden, they are charged through the sun. They are they're charged solarly.
Through the sun.
Through the sun, yes. Sorry. Yeah. So they're charged through the sun. So when their charging will go off through the sun, they will automatically switch off. And in the day, they are automatically, they don't know if there is light around those bulbs. They automatically get switched off. And in the night, they switch on. No amount of electricity is being used in keeping them on. I was amazed, and I was like, oh my god, this is mind blowing. And I told my mother that I want this. This is so thoughtful. Yeah.
But yeah, I think this one's a little expensive, but switch to an electric vehicle maybe.
Yeah, like if you plan to, like, of course I'm not asking you to switch it right now, but if you have plans of buying a new vehicle, or if you're considering going consider going electric. We have more cheaper models coming soon. And I know all the countries are making efforts to bring in like switching to the electric vehicles, because anyway the oil wells and everything, the petrol and diesels, we have consumed them enough that we are well aware that we are going to run out of it. Hence we are switching to electric vehicles now. But if we still try to switch to electric vehicles and save our natural oils around this world, I think we can still make efforts and like try to not utilize the fossil fuels and still run on electricity. Yeah, this is tough. Like we are not just asking you to do it.
This is tough for us.
This is tough for us as well.
Because airplanes burn large amounts of fossil fuels, so that produces a lot of greenhouse gas. That makes, I mean, if you can take fewer flights, that would be like one of the quickest ways to reduce environmental impact. But if you can meet virtually or take a train, skip taking a flight. I mean, so
if possible, don't take unnecessary travel plans.
Delhi to Chandigarh is doable in a Shatabdi.
100%.
I don't understand the concept of taking a flight from Delhi to Chandigarh.
So in certain scenarios, I'll give you an example. I don't understand the concept, but one example that I understand is, but then again, that is a topic for another time. One of my friends, she used to travel quite often from Delhi to Chandigarh, but the only reason she used to go via flights was security.
Alright.
So you get the gist of it. And I think if not all, we can do one of these at least. And if not that, the least we can do is spread awareness, which we are doing right now. So you cannot force someone to act a certain way, even if it was for the greater good.
Greater good, so I'm reminded. I feel that humans have this innate need to be part of a community. Some might be aware about it and some might not be. For instance, remember when India was put under lockdown, Mr. Modi had asked everyone to come to their balcony and thali bajao, diya jalao situation.
Yes.
Remember, we all did it, right?
No, we all did it, and we might have separate reasons of why we did it. I felt that those acts made us feel a part of a community altogether.
Yes.
And
we felt like कि हम contribute कर रहे हैं.
Yeah, mentally we are contributing and strengthening.
बाद में we had different analogies, but let's not go there. So basically, what I'm trying to say is that our Prime Minister used his public influence to bring us together, to help us look in a certain direction.
In a positive direction due to the pandemic. Yeah.
Yes, right. So now just imagine if all the celebrities and influencers just tell their fans to do something like
on a global level.
For example, pollution kam phailao situation. Like what if these influencers could tell their fans to help reduce pollution or help reduce global warming, however little. Imagine what it could compound to. Say, for example, 100 people listen to us and we urge our listeners to do one thing that contributes to the sustainability of the world, and just 50, like half of them listen to us and start doing one thing that is beneficial for the environment. That means 50 acts towards a better future. Now imagine somebody big, like say take BTS for instance, because they are all the rage right now.
Yeah.
So they have like X number of followers, say billions of followers, बहुत सारे है ना, who follow them on Twitter and wherever they follow them. Imagine BTS urging their fans to do something, like just one thing that is that will contribute to like a sustainable life. And let's just assume that usme se only half of their fans listen to what BTS is telling them.
Half bhi nahi, like let's say 20% of them listen to them, listen to what they're saying. That still leaves the world with many X's and numbers of things happening for the betterment of our future generation. I don't think they're listening to the podcast, but if they or any, let's say, famous personality,
any celebrity
happens
any influencer,
if you happen to come across this podcast, I really urge you to please take 5 minutes and use your influence in this direction as well. Even if one person listens to you, then two. It is one step step towards the betterment.
Also, we should, I think we should remember the butterfly effect here, because small changes make large differences.
On that note, yeah, we should remember that we are making efforts to make a small change by discussing this, like I said, and many other important topics we'd like to discuss in the coming episodes.
Keep supporting us, and thank you for bearing with us, and keep listening to us for more topics. And we would love to have your opinions, as well as more suggestions for topics. That would also be nice. All
Yeah.
right, bye guys. Remember to review our podcast. It is available on all streaming platforms. Follow us on our social media. Just be part of our journey as we try to bring change one thought at a time. Sending vocal hugs.
Lots of love. Bye.
Bye, guys.